We talking rom-com, we talking action, we talking drama and movie classics. Whatever you want, yo, we have it. Cause we talking movies on the podcast. So I married a film critic. So I married a film critic. So I married a film critic. Hey honey, I just want to talk about the movie like casually. You don't have to bring up the cinematography. Honestly, let's just talk about like how the characters were fun. Married a film critic. So I married a film critic.
Welcome to So I Married a Film Critic, a discussion between a professional film critic and lecturer and me, his wife of over 20 years, who just likes to watch movies for fun. I'm your co-host, Julia.
Hey everyone, this is Barry the Film Critic.
And tonight we decided to watch 50 Shades of Grey. Why did we decide to watch this?
Were you begging me to see this? I thought you couldn't wait to watch this one again.
Listeners, I was not begging him to see this.
Oh, there's a joke there, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait.
That's hilarious. No, I think we were talking about our podcast photos and how they came from seeing this movie.
Right.
So we went and saw this movie when it came out in the theaters.
Opening night, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. And I said, hey, let's take some pictures of our reactions to what we'll possibly be seeing in this movie. And that's the pictures that we use for this podcast.
Do you think we owe the 50 Shades of Grey people something for that? So they get a cut
No.
of the money we're not making?
Yes. Unfortunately, this movie has made way more money than it probably should have.
Unfortunately?
Yeah. It's not good.
It's a phenomenon, though. It's an interesting phenomenon. And I'm more interested in this phenomenon than I am with Twilight, although it's a very similar phenomenon.
This book became about because of Twilight.
So let's start there.
Okay.
Because what I remember about 50 Shades of Grey was it, let's see.
Fan fiction.
Well, yes. Okay, all right. We'll go back to that. So it was Twilight fan fiction.
Yes.
That was pornographic, so-called pornographic. I don't know if it's really pornographic, but it was
Smutty.
Explicit Twilight fan fiction that was published by E.L. James.
Like on a website, kind of like in chat rooms, I think.
Right. It eventually became, a book phenomenon. Mm-hmm. I recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, weren't you part of a book club that assigned this?
Okay.
Because you came home telling me about this thing, and we took turns reading it to each other because we were laughing like jackals. I'm like, this is the funniest thing ever. So like, okay, no, you read, and I turn a page. Okay, you read. We were laughing. Like, I read the first book because I thought it was so funny, and it was. Not intentionally. That's what made it so golden.
Yes.
The dialogue was so bad. It was so tawdry. But, I mean, I got to say, like, I couldn't stop turning the pages. Because I mean, if you're gonna write bad smut, this is how you do it. It was really funny.
I think I've previously talked about the first book club I was ever a part of, and it started with
It's like a cautionary tale.
It really is. It started with the Hunger Games and going to see the movie, and then this was the second book, which was the only book club meeting I guess I went to with this group, and I think everyone was too embarrassed to talk about it, so we didn't talk about it.
But wasn't this a book club where the emphasis was less on literature and more about wine drinking?
Yes.
So,
and I was probably on the younger end at that time. It was some older ladies. Now I'm in a book club and we're all like around the same age. So it's a way better situation.
So what you're saying is you need to have your book club now read 50 Shades of Grey.
Well,
now's the time to have that communal shared experience.
We did just read, although I didn't really read it because it's been kind of a crazy couple months, but they read, A Court of Roses and Thorns, which is kind of a smut book, but that I did not read. We spent more time like talking about like our lives and different things than we did talking about fairy smut, which I guess is what the book is about. I don't even know. I didn't read it.
I haven't read it. But do you know, I mean, I don't know anything about either. Is it good literature or is it
It's very popular.
Okay. All right. So
I don't know. I don't know if it's good.
I'll have to look it up.
Like in the sense, is the writing good? I have no idea.
Okay. Because I want to be clear about this too. Like, I'm not afraid of erotica. You know that I read Henry Miller. I love Anna East Nin, for example. And even the shocking stuff like Bret Easton Ellis, I'll read his stuff as well. But like there is a big difference between something that, you read out of embarrassment because it's bad versus something where, passion and eroticism can be conveyed in a literary way. It's not just to stimulate your senses, but also it means to tell a story and talk about passion and
Right.
longing and what's lacking.
Right. I don't think 50 Shades of Grey accomplished that.
Not for us. But for others, I think so. And my point being, I mean, this film was a big deal when it came out. It's one of the most, like, I am fascinated by this because we saw this opening day at the Queen Kamaru Shopping Center Theater, one of my favorite theaters. I used to usher there in my teens. And I remember being in a packed, huge auditorium, looking around. I saw one other guy. I'm like, oh man, that poor bastard. Like, yeah, so, and it was interesting because, at times the audience was laughing at the film. At times they were laughing with the film. There were long bouts of silence during certain scenes. There were hoots and hollering. And so, I mean, I've never, even going to see Magic Mike with you, was nothing like this. This was interesting because the movie is, it's ostensibly a sex movie about S&M. It made the audience uncomfortable, but they didn't turn against the film. They were there for that. And that's interesting to me because I go to action movies for action. I go to horror movies to be scared. This is a sex movie.
Yeah.
It really, I mean, we're waiting for the sex. You go to see Fast and the Furious for the car chases. You're at 50 Shades of Grey. You're not there for the story.
I was there for the romance, but it didn't happen.
The romance. It was Valentine's Day, so I understand how you would have made
Okay, but Rotten Tomatoes, this movie, on the popcorn meter, which is audiences, right?
Yes.
It's only 41%.
Yeah, no, they know.
So they know it's not good.
They know it's not good. And this isn't like Twilight where the fans are like, no, you don't get it. No, this is where even the fans like, oh yeah, it's bad, but do I read it? Oh yes. Yes, I do.
No, I'm not talking about the book, though. I'm talking about the movie.
Yeah, no, I think it's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there are very few critics who defended this film. And
Yeah, it only has a 25% tomato meter.
Yeah, and I was not one of those. I gave it a 1.5 when it came out. And there were a lot of critics who said, it's better than we thought it would be, but it's not good.
I think this guy, Jason Bailey from Flavor Wire, I wish it had either been much better or much worse.
There's validity to that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want to talk about the movie, or do we want to keep avoiding this?
No, let's talk.
I sense your discomfort.
No, let's talk about it.
Are you ready?
Let's get into it.
Are you going to be the dominant or the submissive?
Always the dominant.
I guess I'm the submissive this time. But just this time, okay?
Okay. All right. So we have 21-year-old Anastasia Steele. Which,
I love that name.
I know.
Love it.
You can just tell that E.L. James was like, I want something romantic, and but she can be called Anna because she's a romantic girl, but also kind of plain. So anyways, and it's not Anna. It's not Anne with an E. It's A-N-A. Anyways. So she's a literature student at Washington State University, and she has a roommate named Kate. Kate is
a big nothing.
A big nothing.
You don't need this character.
But she's supposed to be interviewing Christian Grey for the school paper.
It's so stupid. This character is here for Anna to speak to somebody. That's all. That's the only reason why. The character later becomes important because she dates a member of the cast, but it doesn't amount to anything. This character is dead weight. She's just there to help get some exposition out. That's it.
Well, and I think it's funny that, oh, I'm sick, Anna, go do this interview for me, and she looks like she just has the sniffles. It's
insane. I mean, it is like, having just seen both of the Devil Wears Prada movies back to back, it is the situation of Dowdy, Anne Hathaway going to interview Miranda Priestley.
Yes.
It is one of those things. So this is a billionaire.
Yes.
This is like getting an interview with Elon Musk or Zuckerberg.
Blech.
Yeah. It's like one of those dudes. Yeah.
I know. Is Christian Grey on that gross level?
And forgive me, I don't mean to make it sound like you need to be all gussied up to meet these people, but it's an interesting contrast. It seems like she really is the worst person you could send to do this, especially in a substitute capacity, right?
Right. She should have sent another person who's with the paper. perhaps.
Yeah, like somebody like, I need you to interview this guy, ask for him quite, got it, I'm on it, as opposed to like, okay, oh, all right.
Okay, so do you send me your list of questions and I'll try and not be awkward.
Yeah.
Okay. So Anastasia goes to Christian Grey's headquarters and it's hilarious. I mean, the camera is like ogling the building that he works in, and Anna
a lot of ogling
but
in this
Anna
film.
looks at the skyscraper like she's never been in a city before.
That could be the case. That would explain a lot, actually. It explains.
It's like, wow, it's
character.
so tall and big.
This is the most magical day of my life.
I know. Like,
I'm gonna fall in love with the first person I see in a suit and tie.
have you been to the city? Any city?
I'm gonna marry whoever is on that top floor. I've decided right now.
I know.
However this goes.
She gets to the floor, and the book kind of describes it more that he only hires blondes because he's not attracted to them or something. So they're all these blonde models in gray suits, which is so on the nose. It's weird. He's kind of strange. Well, not kind of strange. He is strange.
Oh, no. No, it's the full weird.
The full weird. I hate how she falls into his office. Like, she, like, opens the door and just, like, falls in.
Yeah, you get a sense that she's never used a door before either.
Yeah.
This is all new to her.
All new. Yeah. I don't know how to open a door and keep my balance.
Yeah, it's like that scene in The Wedding Planner, which is one of the reasons I hate The Wedding Planner, where they meet cute because Matthew McConaughey saves J-Lo from a dumpster that almost kills her.
Yes.
Like, this doesn't happen. Ever. I told you there was a girl in college I dated. I was in the library. I heard her knock over these books. This big, so I go and turn a corner and I meet this young lady and I'm like, are you the one making all that noise? That was our meet cute, and we dated for like 2 years.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
That's actually, I mean, if that had happened in a movie, I would have been like, that never happens.
Oh, I know. Even saying it out loud, like, God, that's embarrassing. I shouldn't be admitting that on the podcast. That is something that happened. Yeah.
Are you the one making all that noise? Wink, wink. Can I take you out?
Overdue Books. Rated R. Starts Friday.
Overdue books. Yeah, she meets him completely embarrassed that she's just
delightful.
fallen.
He's stiff. Although
Yeah.
maybe stiff isn't the word I should use to describe Mr. Gray.
No, he is. He has no personality whatsoever. No personality.
You know what's fun? I get strong Patrick Bateman vibes from this dude.
100%. I really like Dakota Johnson. This was one of her first big roles.
Yes.
And back then I wasn't sure about her, but watching her back now after seeing her in other things, I think she's really good in this.
I think, she and Kristen Stewart, as well as Robert Pattinson and Jamie Dornan, they have this in common. They survived these movies.
Yeah.
Because I never would have thought that Robert Pattinson is really one of the most exciting and interesting actors working today. I don't think there's a role that he can't play. He's fascinating. I never got that from Twilight. And Stewart, who's she's been in a Cronenberg movie. Like, she's interesting and her choices are interesting. I didn't get that from Twilight. Not even, it's like, where's that girl from Panic Room? Like, she was so dynamic in that and in this thing. So I think the material has sort of boxed them in.
I think everybody's doing a lot of staring and heavy breathing, and it's not cinematically exciting.
We just recently revisited the Star Wars prequels too, and it's like we know these are great actors, and some of them, they can't overcome the limitations of the material, and I think that's the situation here.
Well, the dialogue is stupid.
But here's the other thing to consider, though. I think everyone, for one thing, to the credit of this film, and I do want to give this movie more credit than I did when it came out, the first act of the movie is funny, intentionally funny, and it also knows it's a fantasy.
Yes.
That becomes a problem at the midpoint, but certainly in the early going, the movie is aware that, like, this is a guilty pleasure fantasy at best, and everybody is leaning into that. The fact that Mr. Gray is the ultimate drooly fantasy, and that Anastasia is meant to be the audience surrogate, and the film is shameless about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm unsure about him being the ultimate fantasy. I think if he wasn't a billionaire, this character would be disgusting.
But isn't there also this thing where at some point in our lives, or hopefully it's when you're young and dumb, and I can vouch for that, you fall for the wrong person for all the wrong reasons.
Yes.
You're seeing what you want to see versus what's there. And, to this film's credit, it does come to that conclusion. If anything, it's a problem that there's sequels.
Right.
That's the problem.
The ending
This movie should have ended where it ends.
Yes.
And you go, yeah, screw this guy.
Yeah.
He's disgusting. He's terrible. Ladies don't know. What the movie says is like, no, you can change him.
Yes.
He'll be the one you want him to be. So, what ultimately,
Well, because you kept saying, this is just a story about her trying to domesticate him.
Right.
And you don't like that.
Well, I mean, the thing is, in episodes 2 and 3, it becomes that. They both compromise who they are, and it's like, this isn't interesting. This is cheese. And, and not to jump to the sequels too quick, but like the sequels become about stalking. And in a sense, this first film is also about stalking as well, but it's stalking in a fantasy way. It's like if, for example, if I was stalked by Jennifer Love Hewitt in the 90s. If it was
you would have loved that.
If it was 1998 and I was stalked by Jennifer Love Hewitt, this is what this fantasy would be like. If I suddenly, everywhere I turned, Halle Berry was following me, then yes, it would feel like this. It would look like this. Hi, what are you following me? I'm just grocery shopping.
Oh, that's how you would act?
I hope not, but let's face it.
That's so funny. Okay. So Anna basically, she asks him all these questions very awkwardly and bites her lip in front of him. And somehow he is just...
She has an oral fixation with his black pencil with his name on it.
Yes. She puts that in her mouth.
It's subtle, folks.
It's very subtle. And she asks him if he's gay, and he's like, no. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That was just, one of...
Wouldn't you read it and decide not to say it? Isn't that how it's supposed to work?
I know.
Especially when you're interviewing a billionaire. I think you'd be a little more...
She's like, oh, sorry, Kate is... And he's like, invasive. She's like, curious. It's very, very strange. I would have read that question and been like, I'm not asking that.
I love during the interview, again, it's not subtle, folks. He goes... I enjoy various physical pursuits.
Yeah. And he says... and
she's thinking, oh, hiking?
Yeah, hiking.
No, not hiking.
Rock climbing? Spearfishing, maybe.
Do you like line dancing? Because I love line dancing, too. No Anastasia.
I exercise control in all things. Like, all right, Christian, like... You're too much. You're doing too much.
And she goes, ooh, and that pencil gets positioned in a very deliberate way.
Yeah. We find out he is a control freak, obviously. Quickly. He was adopted at age 4. This is how he makes money. He invests in agricultural businesses and uses that to feed the poor people of the world.
Okay. So the character began as Edward Cullen, as a sex fantasy, S&M sex fantasy, and it became this. Where do you think this comes from? Where do you think Mr. Grey comes from? Because obviously there's a difference between Edward and this guy.
Yeah.
Who do you think he's based on?
Who do I think he's based on? I think E.L. James.
Think of millionaires or billionaires who have their names on the side of buildings. Who have blonde models as their workers. Who are known to be...
Oh, you have someone in mind.
I'm not going to name any names. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's hilarious. I don't know if she was thinking about that particular person.
I'm not saying she is. I'm just...
Yeah. But I think...
Notice I don't say the person's name because I don't want to get sued.
Yeah. He who shall not be named.
Yes.
I think she's just thinking, oh, wouldn't it be nice to be with somebody and not have to have any cares about where money comes from? And so then it's like, it can't just be a millionaire. It has to be a billionaire. You know?
That is the world we live in right now. I mean, it's like, this is the fantasy, this sort of excess.
Yeah.
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 To live in, to bask in.
Right. All the, it's not a big deal for him to buy her a car. It's not a big deal for him to take her up in a helicopter that he also pilots. I mean, it's like, oh, he can do anything.
Anything. Yes.
He's
like Thomas Crown, a kinky Thomas Crown.
But he I feel like we see him do everything except business. I don't know how he has time to engage in his physical pursuits.
Which
and
is interesting
also
because that was also the thing about
manage.
Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
We never saw Patrick Bateman work.
Right.
Ever.
Right. We saw him murder.
Lots of murder.
Yeah, lots of murder.
Yeah, and he does the macho positioning in his office. You know, it's very much about the image that he exudes and the power that he exudes. But
Yes.
in terms of actual office work, never.
No. Not that that's interesting to see, but, you know, we don't...
Well, it's I mean, we've been watching a lot of movies where someone is, you know, they work, you know, whatever, they're in advertising, whatever. We never see that. We never get a sense. And someone's job is not necessarily their whole personality.
Right.
But seeing Gordon Gekko rock Wall Street is, I mean, it's one of the things that's so inspiring about that character. He's terrible,
Yes.
but he is the master and commander of his domain. We don't get that with this guy. It's like, okay, like he's got the pencils, he's got the building.
We
he's got
see
the
him
models.
in meetings with music playing and him just looking frustrated.
Yeah.
Is he frustrated because business is not going well, or is he thinking about other things that are frustrating him?
My order of nipple clamps from China
Oh
hasn't
my
arrived
gosh!
yet. I keep checking my phone. It hasn't
it.
arrived yet. This is maddening.
I'm gonna have to put like a rated R warning on this.
Because I said nipple clamps? Are you kidding? That's just the start of the Red Room. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the G-rated section of the Red Room.
No, okay.
Okay.
All right, so he does offer Anna an internship, which she wisely declines. Can you imagine working for this guy? Like, no. It seems very not fun.
I can envision a much saucier version of the Devil Wears Prada, actually.
All right, let's talk about where Anna works. She works at a hardware store. Why is she working there?
Which, you know, and if I'm going to have somebody step in for me to interview the S&M equivalent of Mark Zuckerberg, I really want my friend who works at a hardware store to fill in for me.
Kate doesn't know he's into S&M. Does she?
That's besides the point.
Okay. So she's working at a hardware store and he happens to go there. I mean, obviously he has done some recon on her.
Yeah.
So that right there.
He's stalking her at this point, right?
Yeah. And she helps him get rope and tape.
She takes him to the S&M section of Home Depot. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, oh, what are you going to be doing with all this
Get
stuff?
some hand ties, like really good hand ties. Get some duct tape. Hey, can we go produce section? Do you have Cool Whip here?
There's no produce section at a hardware
Oh,
store.
wait, no, that's Valentine's Day. Sorry, that's weeks away. Never mind. Scratch that.
Wait.
Do you have a gag? Like,
Oh my
for someone who
gosh.
talks too much? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I want it for.
Okay. So then he gives her his card because I guess Kate needs photos. So now a whole photo shoot has been set up. And he invites Anna to have coffee. So now they've seen each other 3 different times and now they're basically on a coffee date.
And this is the part where he saves her from a bicycle, right? The Twilight bit. Where
I'm
Edward
not-
Cullen
yes.
saves Bella from a car, and he
yes.
saves her from a bicycle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Which is a very big difference between these two films.
Yes, I know. I was like, oh my gosh, he pulled in Edward.
It just shows how low stakes this film is. The one
Like-
saves her from a car crushing her, and this it's like, yeah, good thing I saved you from that bike messenger.
Good thing he was going at least three miles an hour.
I don't want you to be punished by anyone but me. So the first act of this movie is funny. It's a blatant fantasy, but it is funny. Yeah, I gotta say, like, even I remember the first time we saw it, I remember thinking, like, oh man, am I gonna end up liking this film? Because this is pretty amusing.
Yeah, the first part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about how he asked her, you know, if she's a romantic. And she says, well, I'm an English lit major. I have to be, you know. And then he's kind of like, oh, I have to go. You know, because he can't, we find out, I don't do romance. And I'm like, I don't get this whole thing about him not wanting a real relationship and not doing romance.
That's because you and I are old-fashioned. I suspect this is not something that's uncommon today. I suspect there are people like this who are like, hey, like, you know, I don't want to do anything that's conformist. I don't want to do anything like everybody else does, like our parents did. I suspect there are people like this. Like, look, I can be emotionally available for you. If you're into that kind of relationship, there we are.
I know. I feel like he's the type of person who could pretend, though, for her sake. Like, he would do that. Like, he's kind of a weird narcissist. You know, narcissists do that. They'll pretend to be into you romantically to, like, love bomb you and get you attached. Like, I feel like his character is strange in the sense that he's like, you don't know, I can't tell you why I am the way that I am. And I just want you to sign this contract so we can do kinky things and like have no romantic attachments. But like, he's drawn to her. And it's weird that he like won't even pretend to get her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I mean...
Does that make him honest?
It makes him intriguing because her other choice is Elliot, who...
No, Jose.
Jose. Wow, I was actually just throwing a name out. Yeah, there actually is a dude. And, you know, in comparison... I mean, I was also going to say, like, you know, someone who also works at Home Depot with her, which is not also
right.
unappealing.
Yeah.
No, this I mean, Mr. Grey is like an alien, basically.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if that had been the twist, it would have made a lot more sense. And would have made for a better film, too.
All of a sudden, he unzips his skin suit and he tells her he's from, like, this another planet.
Yeah, it's an S&M planet.
Oh.
And they need to have as much S&M as possible to fuel their planet. That's why he's here.
That's where the energy comes from?
Yes, the energy, yes.
Yeah, her screams. It's like a freaky Monsters, Inc.
Wow. This movie just gets better and better.
Okay, so he leaves. And he's like, I'm not the man for you. Like, first of all, that's really
He's
presumptuous to say.
I'm not the man for you. Call me.
Yeah. It's like they're just having coffee, and I don't even know if she's thinking, oh, he could be into me. Because Anna's not that type of girl. She's kind of like...
I think she's totally in. I think the second he walks away, she's going to drink from his cup. I think that's where she's at.
Yeah, but I don't think she thinks he's into her.
You don't think that she thinks that he's into her?
No.
Does it matter?
Yeah, because then he's like, I can't do this. And she's like, what? I think it's very confusing.
I think he's playing a very dangerous game.
Okay, then he sends her first edition copies of Tess of the D'Urberville. I don't even know how to say that.
Oh my God.
How do you say it?
So I would just say Tess, just to save the embarrassment.
Okay. Well,
he doesn't strike me as a reader.
No, but he knows she is, and she told him she was into Thomas Hardy.
Right. And I get the sense that he has no idea who Thomas Hardy is. This part is just embarrassing.
That he does this?
If this guy reads anything, it is magazines that come wrapped in black plastic. And they have names like Whips and Chains Weekly. Like, that's what this dude reads. This guy has never read literature in his life.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, and she's like, I can't accept these. This is too much.
Of course you can. Expensive. You go to the pawn shop, you sell it, and you got rent-free for 3 months.
Exactly. Like, play the game, Anna. Come on. Don't give it back. He's a billionaire. What's he going to do with those?
Especially because she goes back and forth with him a lot at first. And I thought, okay, this is a very appealing fantasy that you're in control. You're the dominant, not the submissive.
I know. That's what I thought about her character the whole time, is she does exude a certain amount of self-control and is able to be like, no, Christian, I'm not doing that, or I'm leaving and don't touch me or whatever. And I like that about her character because it shows he has less control than her.
At first, anyway, for the first act of this film.
But it's even at the end.
Well, at the very end.
Yeah, very end.
At the very end, she makes the right decision.
Right.
Which she then negates for the next 2 movies.
Right, but for now.
Talking about the first
for
one.
now.
Yes.
All right. So Anna goes out and celebrates with friends, and after drinking too much, she spontaneously calls Christian, who doesn't make a drunk dial at some point in their lives. I mean, I don't think I ever have, but a lot of people have. And
I've
he's
called people at like 3 a.m. That's almost the same thing.
okay. Yeah, that's why.
That's dangerous.
I know. You're waking them up.
I'm
Hey,
very stream of
if you have
conscious.
your phone on at 3 a.m., that's your fault, though.
The story is my friend Shay, who I love very dearly, but like he called me at 3 a.m. This is when I was in Colorado. He was on Maui.
Oh, this is so funny.
And phone rings at 3 a.m. And I look at the phone. It's like, oh, it's Shay. And you're like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, I know. I gotta take this. So I get the phone. I go in the living room, kind of slap myself. I'm like, okay, something important. She's calling me at 3 a.m. my time. I answer the phone. Shay, what's up? What's going on? And I hear a long pause, and he goes, is there gonna be a Ghostbusters 3? I'm like, I'm going, I don't think Bill Murray. I think he's holding out. So I don't think it's gonna happen. He's like, okay, thanks. Hangs up. And I get back to bed. You're like, what? Is she okay? I'm like, oh, I'll tell you in the morning. That was just stupid.
Okay. Just so everyone, if anyone does have my phone number, my phone is not on at night, so you cannot reach me. Apparently, you can reach Barry, though.
I'll pick up.
He'll be available.
Like, oh, no, what's happening?
Hey, Barry, what do you think about 50 Shades of Grey, the sequel?
Well, I think the first one's probably the stronger of the three, but we could talk about this one. I'm a little more awake.
All right, so Christian is worried that Anna is being irresponsible, and he somehow tracks her phone to figure out where she is and comes to, quote, rescue her. And
isn't this also part of the fantasy, though? Again, go back to the guilty pleasure fantasy idea of this film.
Yes.
That, like the millionaire, billionaire guy who always dresses like James Bond is going to save you from making a bad decision at a party that you want the freedom to make, but you don't actually want to deal with, right?
Right, because Jose does tries to kiss her, and she's like, no, we're just friends. And then Christian's like, she said no, and pushes him off.
He jujitsus him away. He jujitsus him out of the movie. Is what he does. That's some power right there. And she wakes up, and it's that movie thing. And I think the first time I ever saw this was Harrison Ford in Working Girl, where he's like, I undressed you, but I didn't look, and I didn't take off all your clothes. It's like, okay, that makes it okay, cool.
Yeah, and she's like, did we? And he's like, I'm not into necrophilia. And I'm like, it's the one thing he doesn't like. So that's good to know.
I love that he thought to bring up necrophilia at that moment, though.
I know.
That's interesting.
I know.
It's like, I don't play with Ouija boards, babe. Like, what does that have to do with anything?
So, but then he's like, if you were mine, you wouldn't be able to sit down for a week. And I was like, this is so ridiculous. He keeps saying that, like, this possessive nature of his. Like, if you were mine.
I'm going to be on my feet all the time. What do you mean by that? What does that actually mean?
Actually,
Do you not like to sit down?
It just, like, clicked for me this time. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know that I really understood that line before. Whatever. Okay.
You ever notice there's no chairs in Mr. Gray's office? That's what that means.
Yeah. Everyone must stand.
You all must stand for Mr. Gray.
So he promises not to touch her until she signs an agreement with him.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But then they do give in to temptation and kiss in the elevator.
Oh, yeah. Hot scene.
Hot stuff right there.
I guess.
I guess so.
The movie's telling us. The soundtrack cranks up. Danny Elfman is the composer on this film. Doing God's work. I love that one of our greatest composers said, challenge accepted. 50 Shades, you got it. I do all of Tim Burton's movies. What do I have to lose? Love it. I love that he's the composer of this movie. He brings humanity and a lightness to the score that this movie definitely needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do end up going on a helicopter date.
Oh, man. Well, when he straps her into the copter, she needs a cigarette afterwards.
Uh-huh.
That is like the first real sex scene of this movie. There are close-ups of the straps. The soundtrack is letting you know how much those straps are stretching. Yeah, man. She's like, I already went for a ride. I don't even need this copter.
Yeah, and she's like, who's flying the helicopter? Oh, you are.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like, does he do this a lot? Like, I would ask more questions.
I know.
Like, is this your first time? Like, when did you get, like, you're young. You got your copter license?
I mean, when was the last time he flew? Has he done his 50 hours and then he just took like years off and now he's back in? I mean, is this safe?
Like, don't worry. I'm in total control as always. I had one lesson yesterday.
Okay. I was also thinking, you know, his big...
There's an airbag in my seat. I'll be fine if anything happens.
Like his big motions of romance, like his big things that he does, all have to do with flying. And I'm like, you don't even know if this girl gets motion sick. I would be puking all over the helicopter,
There's just so many
all
questions.
over the glider,
Yeah, yeah.
all over everything.
You know, like, if he really wanted to make a move, wouldn't it be the two of them in the back while somebody flies for him and said, like, no, it's okay. We're just going to sit here and stare. It's going to be great. Don't worry.
Yeah, you just look out at all those big buildings you like so much.
And I'll try very hard not to crash into them, especially the one with my name on it.
I know. Okay, so she has to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which I feel like, all right, that makes sense. But then he tells her that there's another contract that he wants her to sign. So, and he shows her that she'd have a room in his apartment, but that, you know, they would be doing other things in another room that we have yet to see.
Now, as of this recording, I'm not a millionaire or a billionaire yet. So, in total ignorance, I want to ask, is this something that millionaires and billionaires typically do before they go on a date if they're famous? I'm a fan of this guy.
A non-disclosure
Yeah,
agreement?
yeah. I'm a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean no disrespect, but is this what happens every time he goes on a date with somebody? Do you got to sign the non-disclosure?
Probably.
What about Channing Tatum?
I have no idea.
Michael B. Jordan?
I mean, I would think if you have certain interests in things that are untraditional, that, yeah, you would probably have someone sign.
Okay, so this is because that's my question. Like, is there something normal? Because this
because
is too rich for my blood. But I mean, is this a red flag automatically, or is it just like, this is what we do? Like, look, I don't want you spilling to the press about whatever went well or didn't go well tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, rich people will have nannies sign non-disclosure agreements.
Oh wow.
You know, so I think it's pretty common, but I don't know if it's common just to go on a date.
Yeah.
Or date somebody. I have no idea. Surprise, I've never dated a millionaire or a billionaire.
I'm shocked. Well, not yet. Not yet. You look back in this episode like, oh, that was before he was a billionaire. Before he made me sign that non-disclosure form.
Yeah, you're like, so now about that prenup.
My lawyer here from Lowenthal. Lowenthal is here for you to sign about 17 forms.
So Anna's going to have a room in his apartment, and then he's like he's kind of telling her in a roundabout way, like what he's into. And he's like, you read the contract and then you decide what you like agree with or don't agree with. She's like, well, how do I know what I want to do? And he's like, well, based on your other experiences, like what you like. And then he finds out she's a virgin. And he's like, where have you been? Like, okay, she's 21. She's 21 years old. I don't think it's that uncommon to still be a virgin, right?
No, especially if you work at Home Depot.
Yeah. And he's just like, oh my gosh, like, where have you been all my life? I'm like, Christian, you're... Yuck. Okay. So then it's like, after she signs the non-disclosure, he's like, we need to remedy this situation. And like, takes her to have sex. And I'm like, okay. This feels like grooming on his part.
The sex scenes from the very beginning are mechanical and cold. I will say they're not explicit enough, only because I've seen Madonna videos that are hotter than this. This is Creeperville. This is exactly what it's like to have sex with a vampire.
Yeah.
A robot vampire.
Yeah. So like their first time together, and this is her first time ever.
Yeah.
I was like, this kind of stinks.
I kind of wish we didn't see it. And here's an example I would give. Adrian Lyne, who is very famous for making erotic thrillers. Adrian Lyne did this movie called Indecent Proposal. And in that film, a millionaire billionaire has sex with a woman he paid $1 million for.
Yeah,
and it's
Demi
Demi
Moore.
They don't show it. I love that because it messes with you because she's married to Woody Harrelson, and Woody Harrelson is agonizing over this. Like, that's great. We have no idea how this went.
We don't know if it was good or bad or
that's,
anything.
That's great because that makes it more of a mystery. In this case, because the movie thinks it's being so graphic and explicit, it's not. It's just kind of smarmy and sleazy. It's it feels like more of a violation than it already is.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sexual politics in this movie are really ugly. I mean, we're talking about sadomasochism.
But this part wasn't. But I mean, I guess.
But it is.
But it's
psychologically. It is.
Psychologically,
It is about control.
yeah.
It's not about. It's not about two people having fun. It's about one person's in control, another person is being submissive to all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, did she even have any fun? Like, this looked like
Doesn't look like
it was
fun.
all about him.
It's like going to the doctors.
Yeah. I know. And then it shows that, oh,
Don't worry, I'm a doctor as well. I got my helicopter pilot license and my doctorate at the same time. From the same school, in fact. The Gray School of Education. And then what does he do afterwards? He goes to play the piano. Post-coital piano playing.
he does this a lot.
You know what would be hilarious? If he was bad at the piano. I would love that. If he was just like... Dun, 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 dun,
yeah, it's just chopsticks.
I love that. Instead, he's got like the skills of John Legend. Like, no, he should be bad at this. That would be funnier.
He should be bad at more things.
Like, hey, want to hear me crack a tune? Dun, 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 dun.
It's just all out of tune. But I was like, oh, and he has a mirror on the ceiling, and that's the like perspective that we get.
That's Perv 101. You got
Yeah.
a mirror on your ceiling,
Yeah.
looking right down the bed. You know what's up.
Yeah, like no, yeah.
It's weird to, you know, again, like I'm trying to, whenever I say something like, well, it's, you know, he's a creep, obviously, and he establishes that he's been with 15 women prior to her.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, like instead of thinking about it logistically, what's the fantasy here? Is it that, you know, okay, he's a sexual pro, you're with someone who's in control, someone
Who knows
who's
what they're
incredibly
doing?
handsome. Yeah, a guy who looks like James Bond and has the personality of Dracula, but whatever. He's rich, and he's got a mirror in the ceiling.
I mean, when we find out, because she's like, how many women have lived in this room? And he says 15. I'm like, he's what, 28 years old? Like, that's nasty.
So how many STDs you got there, Mr. Gray?
And she's not like, I'm not signing.
The doctor's ready to see you, Mr. Gray.
I was like, you shouldn't sign that contract till you see his STD like paperwork.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on. Mm-hmm. You know, what are we dealing with here?
Yeah.
Like, no, that's.
Yeah, she needs to lawyer up too.
She should.
I mean, I don't know what she can afford on a Home Depot salary, but
Well, if she sells those books, she could get a retainer.
there you go.
Yeah. All right, so Anna does meet the whole family. She meets Christian's mom.
This is nuts, and it's Marcia Gay Harden. I love this actress. What is she doing here?
Yeah. I don't know why the mom just shows up out of nowhere. And then she's like, where's my baby? Like, I don't get it.
It would be funny if he was like, Mom, hey, how you doing? Mommy, kissy kissy. Little Gray loves his big mama. Like a bit, you know, like he's like a goofy run. No, he's like, hello, mother. It's good to see you. This is my girlfriend. We have feelings for each other.
No.
It's like, it's just, he's still in full vampire mode.
Yeah.
You know? And that's fascinating, but the film doesn't want to deal with any of this stuff because we also meet his brother. That's interesting because the brother is a big goof.
Well,
and he's dating her
Yeah,
roommate,
Kate.
and nothing comes of this for 3 movies. It's
I know.
crazy because if anybody knows what's up with this cat, it's the brother. And, you know, like
I need information from that guy.
that's the scene I want where
Yeah.
it's like, he's like, hey, bro, what's going on, Christian? Hey, Chris, Sea-Dog, what you doing, Mr. G? He's like, I'm just unwrapping this box I received from a company that is illicit and brings me things that I could put in my room. Okay, nerd, well, I'm going to go surf, man, so you enjoy yourself. You unbox your weird Red Room stuff. Okay, later, nerd.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No, it's
But
like,
I'm assuming that his brother is like the biological son of these people since Christian was adopted.
okay, that's right, because we do you make a point. We do learn who his mother is. That's coming, and boy, is that that's a,
No, I don't think that's his mom. I think that's the mistress who groomed him when he was 15.
No, that's the Mr. Sugrum when he was 15. That's a movie away. We learned who that is. That's Kim Basinger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Who won a Razzie Award for her.
But
performance
Marcia
in that
Gay
movie.
Harden is his like adopted mom.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Because I don't think we ever meet his biological mom.
My point being is that, I've got my brother is 3 years younger than me. It's not that Marty knows everything there is to know about me and that I know everything about him. I'm sure we have our secrets from each other, but Marty has a pretty good handle on me. Your siblings typically have this.
Right.
If anybody knows what a freak show this guy is, it's his bro, and I love that he acts like a fusion of Bill and Ted.
Yeah. Anna should be interviewing that guy.
Yeah.
Big time.
I got some stories about him, okay? So, oh, man. So, he wanted to know if I knew where the clotheslines were, the clothes hangers, the pins and stuff. He wasn't using it to hang up clothes. That's all I have to say, man. It was weird, man.
Okay.
We like to play capture a lot, where he would, be a pirate, and he would, tie me up, and then he would just leave me tied up. It was weird. I stopped playing with Chris after that.
All right, so Christian is trying to woo Anna with gifts and favors.
Is this when he says "laters, baby"?
Oh, yeah.
One of the catchphrases from the book that strangely caught on in pop culture.
I guess so. Yeah, because the brother says it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
figures the bro would say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she gets a new car, but he sells her car out from under her.
In the movie, it's brought up a second time, but still, the film should make a bigger deal about this. That's not cool.
And I'm like, okay, so how did he get the paperwork? She would have to sign. I mean, it's like so many crimes were committed.
For me, it's just a violation of trust and whatnot. I mean, it's inexcusable. I mean, if I was dating a millionaire billionaire and she's like, you know what, I upgraded you. You now have a Persian cat. I got rid of that ridiculous Maltese she'd been parading around. Like, what? I hate hairless cats. What are you talking about? Yeah, I would be outraged. And this is a car, but still, it's she had stuff in that car.
I'm assuming.
She had her Home Depot gift certificate. It's gone now.
Yeah, yeah. And he gets her a new laptop because he wants her to research S&M. And she's like, my laptop's broken. And he's like, I'll fix that.
You know what's happening, too, is while she's at home, searching, S plus M, Google. And he's, by the way, watching at home. He's like, oh, yeah, she's looking.
Yeah. He probably did install security cameras.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He's like watching her every move.
Guaranteed.
He probably he put one of those AirPods on her.
He's probably so frustrated. He's like, wait a minute, now you're on IMDb or you're searching for Big Mama's house too? No, go back to the other sites. How dare you?
Okay.
Those are what my Google searches are like, by the way.
So this says Anna does her research on submissives and is not very enthusiastic to pursue a relationship with Christian. Yeah. I mean, come on. She's barely not a virgin.
So a question in this movie, I thought about it when I was watching it the first time. I've thought about it the other night watching with you. What do you think the S&M and bondage community thinks of this film?
Oh, they hate it.
Good.
Yeah.
As they should.
Yeah, they hate it.
Yeah, they should.
Because he's coercive, it's not like, I think the people that are legitimately in this community, they want to be there and they have very specific rules and things that agreements or whatever. And I think Christian is just really playing fast and loose with that.
Well, fast and loose, I wish he was like that. I mean, if I had to choose, if I was into dudes and I was into dudes who were a little weird and strange and creepy, if I had to choose between Christian Grey or Hannibal Lecter, I would totally go for Hannibal Lecter. He's fun. He likes to cook. He's got a very exotic food taste. This guy's cool. And then the bottom child, oh, you're a cannibal. Oh, okay, well, I got to draw the line there.
Yeah. Yeah. But you
got me a car. Okay, let's keep it, maybe a little longer.
Oh, man. Okay, so Anna meets up with Christian to discuss the terms of their agreement. And this is when she's like, I want a business meeting. And she goes to the office and they sit in the long conference table and go over the contract.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think this was, I mean, I liked this. I think most people enjoyed this scene because it
It's
is
visually
fun.
stunning.
Yeah.
I got to give Sam Taylor Johnson. I'm going to talk about more about her later as a filmmaker, but I got to say, like, the biggest contrast between this movie and the sequels. The sequels are directed by James Foley. He did Glengarry Glen Ross. He is a great director. He's great with actors. The sequels have no style whatsoever. This is a stylish movie. This scene sucks on the page level. She makes it visually interesting. She makes it funny. I know you don't want me to say any of the things that he asks her about, but he'll like bring up something crazy butt stuff, and then you'll see like a close up of one of his gray, pencils circling or Xing out butt stuff.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's
Yeah.
like, this is interesting because it feels like, okay, is this a parody of a modern relationship? That was my cut. I'm like, is this what getting married is like for those who are dating in the early aughts? Although you and I dated
Going
in the
over
early
a
aughts,
contract? I
Sure.
don't know.
yeah,
if
is this what it feels like? I mean, for young people to get married now, what expectations are like, the sense of trust, the sense of like, hey, this relationship is quid pro quo. Because again, like I'm constantly struck by how old-fashioned you and I are.
Yeah.
The way we did what we did, and I have no regrets to that. But I'm struck by now, like young people, it's like, why did I get divorced? My expectations weren't there.
Yeah.
This person said they were going to be this, they were that. I don't want this person to change. My needs are not being met, so therefore, if like my happiness, if my happiness jar isn't filled up, then that's it.
Right.
And I feel like this, and whatever. There's reasons why these things happen. I don't mean to be judgmental, but this scene feels like the subtext here is like, well, this is what it's like for people to figure out why they get together in the first place. And I find that very interesting. Especially because
they're not just sex, just everything.
But it is about bedroom politics, and that's
Yeah.
interesting. Because like even to talk about bedroom politics, most people I know would when they were like, oh yeah, no, we have there's stuff we do, there's stuff we don't do, and that's it. In this case, it's like no. If I want to kiss your ear, no, exit off. Okay, no.
Yeah, it's
not.
very specific.
Yeah, it's and I don't know. There's something to this scene. It's stylish. It's funny. Again, like this movie, it's always on the verge of self-parody, and I feel like okay, everybody seems to be in on the joke here. Because that by the time once we get to the Red Room, it all goes out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
In so many ways.
So, but one of the parts in this negotiation is that finally Christian is like, all right, I have an offer for you. We'll reserve one night a week for a regular date. And she's like, accepted. You're very kind. And I'm like...
He's like, you mean a regular date with like movies and dinner? I'm like, oh, that sounds great! And he's like, oh, that sounds hideous and disgusting. I mean, we have to go and laugh together.
We have to like have a conversation? Like use our mouth for talking?
We have to eat popcorn, just empty carbs and stare at a screen in a theater with common folk.
You want me to go dancing with you?
Line dancing?
Yeah. I mean...
I'd love to see about cowboy line dancing.
Yeah. So they make all their whatever.
They go... I mean, the movie stops and becomes about contract negotiations. I can't think of anything hotter, frankly. I mean, this movie's on fire. They're going through line items in a contract. The film actually becomes about that.
But the thing is, she never signs it.
And then there's a montage of her jogging. And, or is it him? Or maybe it's both. Yeah, they're like still like the montage is still like in item number 4. Nipple clamps. It's like, oh my God. When are we going to get to I mean, it's a sex movie. I'm here for I know what this movie is, but it's like, it's become, as much fun as going through a contract.
I know. So even before she never signs it, like I said. And he is like, why don't, we have a session in the Red Room.
Here we go.
So you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And like you said, this is when it's like, oh, this isn't...
Well, this is where it's like, okay, let me just like lean into this. I know what this film is. I know why most people are seeing this movie. I understand the entertainment value of a movie that's primarily about the sex scenes. These sex scenes are lousy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. They are. Okay, like, okay, Barry, what's a better example? Okay, 9.5 Weeks. I'm just going to say it. It's a better movie. It's funnier. It's hotter. It's Mickey Rourke, young, hot, sexy Mickey Rourke, young, hot, sexy Kim Basinger, later Razzie Award winner for 50 Shades of well, both of them. And, sorry, Kim, but you won the award. That movie is about S&M and about a controlling relationship in a way that's provocative. And yeah, there is a depth to that movie. Even though it looks like an MTV video, that film has nuance. And then the hottest sex scene I've ever seen in my life is The Player, the Robert Altman movie. There's a scene in the film between Tim Robbins and Greta Scacchi. The camera is in a very sweaty close-up of the two of them and their face. You don't see anything below the neck. And it's this moment where they're talking during the act, and he's about to confess something devastating to her, and he can't because of the nature of it. It's red hot. It's the hottest sex scene I've ever seen because it's not only because of what it does show, but what it doesn't show. These scenes, when it becomes about, okay, close-up of a nipple getting kissed, close-up of a butt being squeezed, it's like, okay, it becomes as mechanical as it is here. Although even what I've described is a lot more appealing than this, because he takes her into his murder room and you immediately look at it and you go, okay, what happened to the 15 X's? Can you prove that they exist? Get one on the phone right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet they're all like buried in the backyard somewhere. Like, there's no way. Like this is. It's one thing. Like, okay, this is my closet. I've got a whip. I've got a choker.
This is crazy.
No, this is like the store. He bought the store that sells all of this stuff. It's completely insane. It's terrifying. Everything looks like it's been polished. Like, does he come in here in his off days? Like,
well, that's what I was wondering.
Gotta see my face.
Is he cleaning everything, or does he have someone coming in to clean all this stuff? Because
that's a non-disclosure
what's
form.
Going on?
So I need you to make it spick and span in there. You can't tell anybody about anything you see in there.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite lines in any movie where it goes, so this is a flogger.
I know. It's hilarious.
Like, holy crap, man.
It's like so
crazy. What you do, it's some serial killer advice here. You ease them into it. Like, no, this is a feather duster. It's a leather feather duster, but it's a feather duster. Let's move on to. Oh, don't look over there. Let's go over here. No, these are happy sticks. That's what I call them. My happy sticks.
Yeah, he's just so matter of
fact. That's barbed wire. Oh no, don't look at that. Don't look at. Okay, over here. These are masks. Hey, happy masks. All right. Who wants a happy mask? No, the way he does it, it's like these are my tools for absolute pleasure. Oh my god! Like, no, it's scary.
It is scary.
It's like, okay, like, man, like, this is the ultimate dare. Like, this is where, and he gives her. I love that he gives her a safe word. It's like you look at the room of yellow and you run.
You run.
It's
no, you say
like,
red and you get out of there.
So what do those do? Oh, those are the best ones yet. Holy crap! Get out of there. It's not gonna. You know what? He's just not into you, but boy, is he into this room.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yes, he says, I'm a dominant, and if you agree to be my submissive, I will be devoted to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And she's like, what do I get out of this? And he's like, me. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Because, what do you mean me? You're not giving me any romance. You're just buying me things, and I have to do what you say.
And there's where, like, the fantasy, like, again, like, I want to go with this idea of this movie being a fantasy about, the male you can't have or shouldn't have. Okay, but, like, when, I'm a dominant, I'm looking at the line. I'm a dominant, and if you agree to be my submissive, I'll be devoted to you. When the things they say sounds like lyrics from an R. Kelly song, you run. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be trapped in a closet.
Fantasy is over
for sure.
You're not leaving that closet, and neither are the 15 that came before you. They're still in the closet. Yeah.
All right. So now Anna makes a plan to go see her mom in Georgia and doesn't tell Christian, and boy, is he mad. Okay, she hasn't even signed the contract yet, and he's already, got his filthy paws all over her freedom.
Yeah.
So she goes to see her mom. And now then he follows her a couple days later. And of course, the mom, she should be like, red flag, but she doesn't.
And I feel like that's part of the fantasy, because if this movie was real, it would play like a thriller. The mom would go, "There's something really wrong about that boy,"
Exactly.
as opposed to, like, "Oh, he's great. I love him.
He's so handsome.
He looks like James Bond. I just love him."
He's a pilot? Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah,
Exactly.
Can he play piano?
But the mom herself is, like Anna says, is on her 4th marriage. So I don't know that the mom is exactly, like, understanding what red flags are.
Interesting interpretation.
I mean, we don't know why she's been married 4 times.
What are you suggesting?
Maybe she's picked bad guys.
This is more thought than I've given this character
I know.
for years.
I know. Same. It just came to me.
Really interesting.
Maybe because she's like, oh, she's been married 4 times. She's a hopeless romantic. Like, okay, like, what does that mean? That she picks guys that aren't good for her because they've romanced her? Did they all die? Like, what's going on?
Do you think the film and or the material itself is criticizing this lady because her sense of romanticism is the contrast to the reality of the situation, that she can't see Christian Grey for what he is?
Are you talking about Anna or the mom?
And the mom.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Nobody can see him for what he is.
No one. Only Anna.
Well, everyone's seeing what they want to see. I think the fact that he is successful in business is blinding them to the fact that he has no personality and he's a control freak.
Even though we've never seen him in any form of business whatsoever,
Yeah.
he might as well be the model on the cover of the catalog for Mr. Grey Industries.
Exactly. After returning home from Georgia, Anna continues seeing Christian, who still wants her to sign this contract and isn't willing to.
Contract negotiations are
Still going. But Anna wants a normal relationship. And there's a quote where she's like, why won't you just accept me as I am? Like, why do you want to change me? And he's like, I'm not. You're the one who's trying to change me. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is what you were talking about. Like, each person, there has to be some kind of compromise for them to be together.
Yeah.
So who's going to compromise more?
So this is interesting. But it's also, it would be more interesting if he was complex as opposed to obviously visibly crazy. Because this is scary town.
Yeah, because he comes in, remember, he comes into her room when she's asleep and he's like talking to her.
Right.
And he's like talking about how he had like cigarette burns and his mom was a prostitute and a drug addict. Like the worst things that E.L. James could think of is like
insane.
what she puts in the book.
She
like
gives-
what's the worst thing a person could be? A prostitute and
Tonight on Dr. Phil,
Yeah.
when your mom is a crack dealing hoe. Next on Dr. Phil.
Exactly. So he just does it so like, now you know, but she's asleep and he's trying to confess why he's so dark.
That's my deepest secret. What do you think? She's going,
Yeah. And then we find out that he was groomed at 15 by a dominant.
which is terribly disturbing.
Terribly
And
disturbing.
so upsetting. And it's like,
For
okay,
5 years.
this is where all of the Mr. Grey stuff is gross and nasty because, okay, he was abused, sexually abused as
Yes.
a kid.
Yeah.
This is gross.
Yeah. And that's why he is the way he is. So he was abused as a child and on drugs, got adopted, and then somehow met this dominant, and she used him as her submissive for 5 years till he was, 20? And now he's been doing the same thing to women.
15 times prior to...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's like, again,
So I don't know how this is a fantasy that's...
it's over at this point. For
Yeah.
me, the fantasy is over.
Yeah.
Even I can't get into this. No, it's it's so unsettling.
Yeah.
But it's also, it's like, I like that the film is finally giving him some semblance of a backstory, but the problem is, it's the backstory of Ted Bundy.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a problem. And I'm not saying you have to have a movie where you always have to root for the good guy. I mean, like, I'm a big fan of this movie that came out this year, Wuthering Heights, the new Wuthering Heights with Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. I like that film, even though it's about how two people are basically awful to each other until they aren't. And that's fine. I don't think that Emily Bronte wrote something that was, perfectly in line with what contemporary or even then what romantic expectations look like, et cetera, et cetera. But you should be. It gets to a point where you basically stop rooting for your protagonist, and that's a problem, because at this point, Anna looks so foolish to continue to be back and forth waffling into this.
Yeah.
Because even because there does get to a point, and forgive me if I'm jumping ahead. God forbid I jump ahead.
No, we're
in the
almost
story.
to the end.
All right, so then there's a point where it's probably at the point you were talking about, honestly, where she says, "Okay, like, show me the worst."
Yeah,
What's
show me the worst. Like, why do you want to punish me?
And this scene is a missed opportunity too, because on the one hand, I don't want to witness sexual violence. I don't want that, but at the same time, he spanks her 6 times. And she's like, "Oh God, no! Really? No. Look around this room. You are lucky."
That's all that happened.
This should be like that scene in American Psycho where Bateman says to the prostitutes, "It's not over yet." And then it cuts to them. I mean, they got bruises all over each other. They're bleeding and they're running out of his apartment. That's what should have happened next, because that's what she asked him for. And instead the movie, I mean, again, it's like a Madonna video from the 80s. It's the tamest thing. He spanks her 6 times. Like, "No, you monster!" Like, really? Oh man, like you were like the luckiest girl to ever go in the Red Room.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't you think?
I don't know, because it's not. I mean, it's.
I'm not saying it isn't a violation. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's right. I'm just saying,
know.
like, I feel like the movie chickens out here.
Okay. Like, yeah, with all the things that he could have done to her.
And what she's specifically asking him to do. Again, like, I'm talking about this. I'm not talking about what I would want in real life. I'm talking just from a story angle. This movie he's basically telling Dracula, "Okay, show me the worst thing
she
you
wants
can do."
to know the worst thing.
And he's like, "I like to drink blood." Oh no! That's not the worst of it. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is hard, because it is like a whip situation.
Spanks her 6 times, listeners.
I know.
And she's sitting there crying. I'm not saying it's not awful. I'm saying, boy, did this movie get all Disney on us in a moment where I'm like, oh, I'm bracing myself. I'm not.
Yeah. Like, what's he gonna do?
I'm frozen in my seat. I'm not chewing the popcorn. I don't want anybody around me thinking I'm enjoying this. Like, what is about to happen? Oh, okay. All right, movie.
Yeah. But then she does say, like, "I never want you to touch me again." So obviously,
that's what it took.
because he spanks her other times.
He blindfolded her and tied her to a bed, and yeah, like, this is the least of it.
I know. I don't know. I don't. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say, because it's like either the movie goes further and we're all way more traumatized, or we don't see what happens and we just see the aftermath and we're left wondering.
That's the problem with this movie, because it's a mainstream film about a very difficult and I would say very disturbing thing.
Yeah.
And yes, there are people in this world. I want to be fair. Like, there might be people listening to this like, I have an S&M relationship with my wife and it's very healthy and it's fine and it's a secret. We don't have a red room. But, and the thing is, you figure it out what happens in the privacy of your own bedroom. Great. And it doesn't involve people being hurt or, diminished or embarrassed. Fine. But this movie is about a monster of a person.
Yeah.
And rather than deal with it in a very real way, it's always this idealized fantasy. And by the way, for a movie that, has been noted to be erotic, there's no frontal male nudity or female nudity in this movie. That ticked me off. We always see her topless. But, like, this movie won't even give us that. And that's like, no, these characters are naked in every sense of it. But the film cops out, at giving us full frontal nudity. Like, okay, like, I think that's like one of the many ways, like, this film is like, we want this to play in malls.
Yeah.
We want people to see this with their parents. It's rated R. It's
Gross.
NC-17. Well, I mean, what do you think happened on Valentine's Day? Mom, I really want to see 50 Shades of Grey. Okay, all right.
Yuck.
We'll have your whole slumber party go. It'll be fine. Don't worry.
Gosh.
Yeah, so he's been telling you, see, most of your fears in your head, your mind, all mine, understand. And then he says the greatest line in the history of cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, you wrote it down earlier.
I didn't write it down.
You showed it to me earlier.
Oh, where he's like, I'm 50 Shades of effed up?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, at least that was some honest self-reflection, because that's true. He is 50 Shades of effed up.
That line, I think they put in there like, you know what, the critics are going to.
Well, it's
kill
in the
us.
book.
Well, I think they're still like, hey, like we got to have that line in there because it plays like an instant movie review. They can't touch us. We put that line in there. They can't say how bad this movie is because we're admitting it. We're saying it. Yeah, we jumped over the glider scene where he proves himself to be like Thomas Crown. He actually, you know, and I got to say, he's very impressive. He goes upside down. Mm-hmm. He's got some glider skills.
I guess. Well, and then at the very end, she gets in an elevator and leaves.
And I misremembered this. I always thought this was the last moment of the movie. I forgot that the film goes on for a couple more minutes. It's a montage of them back in their lives, and then it just abruptly end credits.
Yeah.
It would have been better if it closed on the elevator.
I agree. Yeah. And then what? In the next one, the elevator opens and she's back, or what?
Basically. There is a film that does that it's satisfying, although it's not a great movie. It's called Sliver with Sharon Stone, where, you know, she realizes that the boy, William Baldwin, who she's been in love with, has been filming everybody in this hotel that he owns. So she comes into the control room, shoots it with a gun, and then goes, "Get a life," and the movie ends. That's like how that movie ends. Yeah, it's like this would have been a little bit better if it was like that, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, my notes, I wrote, you know, back in the day when I was in high school, I didn't tell a lot of people, but there was a book that came out. It was a cultural phenomenon. Madonna released a book called Sex, and it was, you know, not only about her fantasies as Mistress Dita, but it also had these black and white pictures in it. Sometimes it had nudity, sometimes it was S&M. That was a lot more shocking, and I thought a lot bolder. And I got to say, in terms of it being a moment where the unspoken things that we're very conservative about became, you know, in the pop culture, public mainstream, I thought it was a much more shocking and interesting thing that she did with that. This movie, you know, it's interesting because even though it's this R-rated sex fantasy, it basically was it was the latest Twilight, Hunger Games, Divergent, Maze Runner, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. It was the latest young adult novel, although I hopefully not a lot of young adults are reading it, but, you know, whatever, to each his own. It became this thing where everybody, you know, had an opinion about it. Everybody was into it, and, you know, it was you know, you'd see it at number one best-selling novel at Barnes & Noble. It's like, wow, everybody's reading this thing. It is a phenomenon. I feel like the only filmmaker who's any good at exploring sadomasochism is David Cronenberg. He did a film called Crash, which for those of you who are adventurous film goers, you're like, yeah, man, I love 50 Shades of Grey. That's why I listen to this podcast. I can't believe these two losers didn't love my movie. All right. So there's a film that came out in 1996. It's called Crash. It's about a world, and it's like this phenomenon where everybody in the movie, they're turned on by car crashes.
Oh,
So
yeah, we saw that. I saw that.
You watched that?
We watched it together.
Wow. Yeah, they get into car crashes together. They watch car crashes. They're instantly turned on by it. And the movie never explains this. It's just this world where, you know, it's autoeroticism. And it's shocking, it's bold, it's scary because you're watching people behave in ways that seemingly don't even make sense. It's like a movie on a different planet. But it's fascinating. And the other one I would say, and it's especially it's not just sadomasochism, it's also about body piercings and body horror. A film called Crimes of the Future, also Cronenberg, one of my favorite Cronenberg films. This is Viggo Mortensen, Leah Seydoux, and Kristen Stewart, excuse me. And it's about a world, again, it's very, very like in the vein of Crash. It's a Cronenberg film where it's because of something that's happened chemically, everyone in the world no longer feels pain. Transforming your body, you know, in a way of like with piercings and with surgery, it becomes like this thing that people watch like in a gladiatorial way. So someone, you know, like Viggo Mortensen's character, he considers himself an artist, and his wife is removing body parts from him, and, you know, and like putting body parts in there. It's surgery.
Weird.
And people like have ears tattooed to different parts, ears like rather stitched to parts of their body. Like the film is full of imagery, and a lot of it is shocking, and it's a lot if you're like not able to go along with the movie's wavelength. And Cronenberg's movies are challenging. This is definitely a challenging film. It helps that the film has a healthy sense of humor, and that it is, as a thriller and as a movie that's about, you know, society gone amok, it's pretty fantastic. I love.
I will not be watching that.
You will not watch it, but it's great. Crimes of the Future. I mention it because these are films that are bold and brave and shocking, and they're not afraid to go all the way. I feel like 50 Shades is like, well, it's it's
I don't want to see that though. Like I don't want it to go too far.
It's not that a movie has to go too far. It's just when a movie like 50 Shades of Grey, it pulls its punches as it does, and as a series, it goes even more so. Though, I mean, these movies get worse, these stories get worse as they go along.
Yeah, that's
true. It should have been a one and done book.
Agreed.
It's funny that there's a film coming out because again, like the stalker fantasy, and I think it's a valid fantasy. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to, especially no. Seriously, the fantasy part. I'm not talking about the reality. The idea that somebody who's gorgeous, is all up in your business. There's a film opening up. I think it'll be around the time that this episode drops, called Obsession, about a guy who suddenly finds that the girl of his dreams is suddenly obsessed with him out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah. No,
exactly.
because he makes like a wish.
Yes, so it's supernatural.
Yes.
But again, I think that's a necessity because that's what Fatal Attraction was.
Yeah,
Fatal
he
Attraction
wants her to be obsessed with him.
What if you have a one-night stand with this gorgeous chick? Oh my God, she won't go away. Like, there's repercussions to this.
Yes.
The
repercussions.
Isn't this great?
I know. The repercussions of what you think would be great, but really is not great.
The last thing I want to say about 50 Shades of Grey, I know we got to wrap this up. The director, Sam Taylor Johnson, I feel like she's been in movie jail because of this film. And it's not fair because this film was a huge hit. And the fact that the film is as good as it is largely because of her decisions. The sequels show that it really needed her. But I suspect there's some sexism here because she did the first one and then the next two were done by men. Catherine Hardwicke, same thing with Twilight. She does the first Twilight. It's a monster hit. She gets fired from the series, and the rest were directed by men. Not cool. Especially because these first entries, and I don't love the Twilight movies, you know that, especially the first one. But the first one, those decisions that are in that film that are good come from her. The sequels are a different thing. And the sequels here don't have... I don't want to say the romanticism. I don't find 50 Shades of Grey particularly romantic. But, the style, the look of it... 50 Shades of Grey, it's a bad screenplay, but it's directed with distinction. I don't think it's cool that she had to go to movie jail because of that. She did 2 films subsequently. She did the James Fry adaptation, A Million Little Pieces, that book that was debunked. And then she did the Amy Winehouse movie, Back to Black, which was also not a success. But, I mean, when you direct a movie that makes like $400, $500 million worldwide, usually it puts you on the hot list. And, and the same thing with Catherine Hardwicke. I feel like they kind of got they took the punchings because the film was critically bashed. And instead of it fairly being like, okay, like, hey, you get your pick of whatever the next film is, you get final cut. They're treated like it was their first film and it didn't do well. Yeah. I just don't think that's fair.
Okay. Well, you had also wondered about Jamie Dornan after this.
Yes.
So I don't know if any of these things after 50 Shades of Grey are anything you've ever heard of.
Some of these I've heard of. I'm not interested in. Yeah, he was in the Robin Hood movie. He does a voice in Trolls World Tour. Okay.
Oh, good.
I loved Haunting in Venice. That is a Kenneth Branagh film, and I thought that was one of my favorite films of the year. Yeah, he's done some. It looks like he's doing a lot of television.
Yes.
I think he's talented, and I hope he's able to redefine his career in the same way that Robert Pattinson did. Pattinson, I mean, speaking of Cronenberg, he's in a great Cronenberg film called Cosmopolis. Pattinson took some really offbeat projects. The Lighthouse is another one. Batman's another one. Just projects that they look like they could have failed, but they were real risks for him as an actor. And in doing so, he showed the world how versatile he is, and he also just erased, Edward Cullen as being the thing that defines him. And I want that for Jamie Dornan. Clearly, Dakota Johnson, this is in the distance. I wish she didn't have that Marvel flop, Madam Web, which is kind of hanging over her.
Yeah, I think she's past that, though.
I hope so, because that movie wasn't her fault. It wasn't. Again, like most of these movies, 90%, I'm sorry to lay it in the hands of the screenwriter, but the screenplay, those are the building plans. And if the building is faulty and it crumbles, it's because it was built poorly.
Mm-hmm. So how many stars did you give this?
2.
Wow.
Up from a star and a half when I saw it in
Wow,
2015.
you gave it more?
Yeah. Because it's entertaining. The first act is really good and funny. It's engaging. It's done with style. I feel like it goes out the window by the second act. I feel like the movie cannot deal with the Red Room, and even the way the Red Room has been portrayed, it's like even the filmmakers are pulling their punches. They can't deal with this. It's an R-rated mainstream movie. And I don't want it to be dirtier. I just want it to be honest. This movie is not honest. But as a fantasy, it's also the ick factor. Because it's like, okay, how much can you root for Gaston? Do you really want Gaston to end up with Belle? You don't.
Yeah,
Gaston's fun for a while, but after a while, you can't root for Gaston. And that's who Mr. Grey is.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Well, the soundtrack is
awesome.
awesome.
The soundtrack is great.
Oh my God, that Weeknd song that was Oscar nominated. Yes, that song is killer. Earned it.
Yep, earned it.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think we did it.
Okay, you can stop listening, folks. The safe word is yellow.
All right. And that concludes our discussion of 50 Shades of Grey.
Laters, baby.